These games are the final group games in this World Cup. After today, the real fun starts, the round of 32. In this video, we're going to check out all these games, look at the data, different metrics, insights, and of course, put together some predictions. So without further ado, let's get into it. Just want to say as well, well done to this user because you correctly predicted that France would beat Norway 4-1. And I've got to say, I saw rumours yesterday that there may be rotation, okay, for Norway. I did not think they would change 10 of their 11 players. That's not rotation. That is throwing the game. That is saying we're happy to finish second. So we start with England, and their place has been confirmed thanks to results during the night. England are qualified for the last 32, but they can still, of course, top the group. The big news ahead of the Panama game is, of course, this man right here, Reece James, is injured. Who would have thought, who would have foreseen that Reece James got an injury at the World Cup? Nobody saw this one coming. So Jed Spence likely to be the #1 right back now. Livramento was also injured, so it's a good thing that Chalobah was called up. Lewis Hall and Trent Alexander-Arnold will be watching this one from their home for reasons we do not know. And I don't mind Spence, and O'Reilly is very good at left back, don't get me wrong, but what if they get injured now? And also, what if Tuchel wanted to rotate or rest ahead of the knockout games? There's a good chance if we play Ecuador that it goes to 90 minutes. These guys are going to get really tired really fast, and we do not have the backups of the same quality. If we put Quansah at right back, for example, and Dan Burn at left back, it's a pretty different looking team. Now, finishing top does matter for England. Sometimes finishing second can be a better situation depending on the other groups, but certainly playing Senegal, who finished third in a very tough group, by the way, and did look decent at times against both Norway and France. And of course, they just smashed Iraq 5-0. And they've also got recent history in beating England as well. So it's not the easiest fixture for England, there's no doubt about that. Then they will play either Mexico or Ecuador. I'm not looking forward to playing either of those teams, but they really should get the job done. I know we said this against Ghana, but there is a bit of a difference between Panama and Ghana. No goals scored, and 2 defeats out of 2 means that Panama are out already of the World Cup. I think England can afford to rotate and still win this game. Now, looking at the head-to-head, there is a bit of history here because Harry Kane scored a hat-trick in the previous meeting, and that was in the 2018 World Cup when England won 6-1. And just looking briefly at that Ghana game for England, because there are some interesting statistics, hardly a shot in the game for Ghana, and there is an unwanted statistic for England, and it is that in World Cup history, 79% possession is the highest of any team without scoring a goal. Just taking a look at some of the rankings in the fixture component here, and we can see that scoring after 70 minutes, England have done that in 7 of their last 10 games. England also ranks second for corners won across the last 10, and this is, of course, amongst all World Cup teams. Panama, incidentally, 16th in the list. How many corners will England get tonight? They're also second for shots on target, 77 in the last 10 games. Only Spain have had more. And for possession, we expect this to continue. England topping the charts across all World Cup teams. More of the ball than Spain, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands. So I'm going to put together a couple of predictions for this game. My first is here, and it is for the game to be drawing at half-time, but England to then go and win the game. 3.75. Now, that is just trying to get a bit of value from the game, and it is just one of many game states that I see potentially happening in this game. If England do rotate, if Panama do sit back, we saw how difficult England found it against Ghana. Maybe, and this can happen when you rotate, the players that come in, they do bring something and you can find a performance. And England have got a decent record in the first half under Thomas Tuchel, but that is my first selection for the game to be level at half-time, but England to win. And 3.75 I think is a decent price, especially compared to England to simply win the game. And my next selection here at evens follows the data a little bit more. BCTS, no, I expect England to dominate this game. Most corners, England, and most shots on target, England. Cards, I don't think it's worth looking at cards for this game given the context of the game. Panama potentially to get more cards, but also the referee, if this is a one-sided game, 2-3, 4-0, then the referee's just going to keep his cards in his pocket, especially given the context of Panama already heading home. And my score prediction for this game is a 2-0 victory to England. What's your prediction? Get it in the comments. Next up, Croatia against Ghana. So Ghana and Croatia, and as things stand, I think you would rather finish third in this group. We can see here, as things stand, Ghana will play Portugal, and then if they beat Portugal, the reward for beating Portugal is you play Spain, because Spain have got Austria. That's the likely situation as things stand. But if you finish third, you will play Colombia, and if you beat Colombia, you play the winner of Switzerland against, again, as things stand, Iran. So for me, finishing third looks a little bit more favourable at the moment, which could be interesting to think about when you put together predictions for this one. Now, I've not been that impressed with Croatia, if I'm being honest. They scraped past Panama, and I can see Ghana getting a draw or victory in this game at evens. Let me know what you think about this one, given the context of that third place finish as well. It's going to be fascinating to watch these results come in and see who gets who at the end of the day, because there is certainly, I think, a more favourable draw to be had for both of these teams. So on to Group K, and we have Colombia topping the group on 6 points, Portugal second, and as things stand, as we've just seen, they will face the runner-up in England's group. Will this table change much tonight? Let us know in the comments. The Congo, they are chasing a first ever qualification. They scored their first ever World Cup goal at this tournament, as did Uzbekistan. They need to win this game to have any hope really of going through. I think they can win, to be honest. My score prediction for Congo against Uzbekistan is 2-0. Uzbekistan hammered 5-0 by Portugal, and Ronaldo getting a double. And for Cristiano Ronaldo, the brace against Uzbekistan took him to 975 career goals. His 10 World Cup goals for Portugal are a record, and he is the first ever player to score at 6 different World Cups. For Colombia, the threat is obvious. It is this man, Luis Diaz. The standout for them, no doubt about that. Munoz, Premier League fans and FPL players especially will know about him. He scored twice from right back. And of course, James Rodriguez is still knocking about, playing well. Our probability model is favouring Portugal in this one, just under 50%. We can take a look at the odds to see that there are a range of prices right now. I think just under evens is the consensus for Portugal to get a victory in this game. And I am backing Portugal here, but shop around because the odds are not great on Bet365 where I'm pricing this up, but it does get it to over evens with over 1.5 goals. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. My thinking here is that Portugal are now really getting going in this competition, much like the Netherlands, much like Spain. It took them 90 minutes to shake off the dust, but when I look at that Portugal team, the spine, the midfield, it is simply too good. And Ruben Diaz coming back for that game against Uzbekistan, there was so much more fluidity about their play, and I think they will score at least a couple of goals in this one. Over 1.5 goals in the game total, and Portugal to win at over evens. And my scoreline prediction for this game is a 3-1 victory to Portugal. What are you on? Let me know in the comments. And just quickly on the Congo game, the odds, I just don't agree with Congo being 1.7. I think they can win the game, and I do expect them to win, as I said in my score prediction. But I'm going to go with the draw just for the potential value I think it offers. I do not think the Congo are a 1.7 to win team against Uzbekistan, who have little to play for, but that can make teams a little bit more dangerous, as we saw with Turkey the other day. And they're a good defensive unit. They've just played a couple of really tough games, Uzbekistan. They've come up against Colombia and Portugal. The Congo are not in the same bracket. So Group J, the final group, and we're looking here. Argentina are the winners of the group given the head-to-head. Jordan are bottom given the head-to-head. Similar story to Turkey the other night. If they'd have gone and got a few more goals, maybe they could have been one of those best third-place teams. Algeria, we're just going to go back to the third-place rankings. Algeria currently are not in the as-it-stands bracket because they have 3 points, -2 goal difference. A draw takes them to 4 points in this game, which absolutely will see them qualify for the knockout round. We can see there South Korea, for example, they've already played 3 games and they're on 3 points. So a draw might just suit both of these teams in this one. A draw keeps Austria second. It's looking more and more likely now that Austria will face Spain regardless. And the odds for a draw are as low as 2.15, which does tell you something about this game, or certainly about what people expect to see in this game. Both games for Algeria have seen a couple of goals at least. In terms of shots on target, they managed none against Argentina. Austria managed 1 against Argentina. I am going to go against the grain a little bit with my prediction for this game. So I'm going to go with Algeria or draw in this game, and over 1 goal to be scored. The bookies are absolutely loving the under market on this game, as you may expect. And I think for Algeria, there is much more to play for. Yes, a draw for them is a must. A draw at least is a must for them. And that's why I'm backing them to actually maybe go on and win this game. Maybe by a single goal, or we see a draw here. My score prediction for this one is 1-1. What about you? What do you think will happen in this game? Do you think it will be a draw? Will we see anti-football in this game? That is what people have been speaking about on social media. I don't think it's as obvious as it was maybe 48 hours ago. Circumstances have changed given recent results. Let us all know in the comments. And the Magic Man, Lionel Messi, is out for this game. He will be on the bench against Jordan, who have they've offered a little bit in the games that they've played. They have had shots on target, and I think in this game they'll be playing without pressure, that is for sure. And looking at Jordan's results, they scored in both games, but more than that, they led in both games as well. Can they get a goal against Argentina? Highly unlikely, given the defensive record of Argentina, but we may see heavy rotation in this game, given that Argentina are already confirmed as the group winners. So Argentina are 1.16. I think that is definitely a trap. Of course, they are ranked first in the FIFA World Rankings, but this is a game that means very little to them. And for Jordan, they don't know when they're going to be at a World Cup next, so there is certainly a lot of pride for them on the line here. And I think they can be proud with their performance in this group. They've had a very tough group, let's be honest, and they've managed to score and, as I said, take the lead in all of those games. Can they get a goal in this one? Now we're going for a bit of fun with this one. Jordan against Argentina, 4.2, 420, great number. Argentina to have over 1 offside in the game, and my reasoning here is that the profile of the forwards is going to be different here. Martinez, we know about his pace, but also Alvarez coming in will be the one, I think, that's going to get caught offside maybe in this front line. It's a very different looking front line with Messi sat on the bench. Argentina have been winning at halftime in 5 of their last 6 games. Can they do it again against Jordan? And Julian Alvarez to be fouled more than once in this game. I really do rate Alvarez. I think he's a fantastic footballer, and he's one that's been sat on the bench just quietly waiting. He could have a big impact at this World Cup yet. And my score prediction for this one is 4-0 to Argentina. Sorry, Jordan. What is your score prediction? Let us all know in the comments for your chance to win. And I will leave you with the current leaderboard for our World Cup predictions game. RBK is currently in the lead by 3 points. We have our first Centurions. Let's take a look at their recent picks. They are on a superb run. Paraguay, Australia, they called the draw. They had Turkey to win. They had the draw for Cape Verde as well. Fantastic stuff. Remember, if you are inside this top 10 when the World Cup finishes, you will win real world prizes. It's been a long day. And that is it. We conclude the group stages. I hope you've enjoyed all of these daily videos. We are not going anywhere because we have the first knockout round tomorrow. I'll see you then.